Somebody's gonna hurt someone before the night is through. Somebody's gonna come.
Hello, world. What's up, everybody? This is Dave from the Fight Bananas podcast. How's everyone out there doing? Man, oh man, what a great show we have lined up for you. We have Cam Bennett about to call into the show. Just to be blunt and honest, he's our think guy. The man's a genius. He has brilliant ideas, and we can't wait just to talk to him. We're just going to chit-chat. Nothing particular. I want to talk about his last fight, his performance at Island Fights 59. Hey, we might as well talk about Island Fights 60. That's this Thursday on UFC Fight Pass. Hey, let's talk about UFC Tampa. Let's talk about weight cutting. Let's talk about whatever Cam Bennett wants to talk about. He is a future superstar in the sport. Cam Bennett is about to be on Fight Bananas podcast. But before we talk to Cam, make sure you go to our sponsors, guys. WarhammerFightwear.com. Check them out. You can go to Amazon. You can buy their gear at Warhammer Fightwear. Just check them out anytime you want. Buy that t-shirt. The leggings for the ladies are hot. They're unbelievable. And also, if you got kids, you got little ones running around, they got awesome, funny MMA gear for kids. So definitely show the love and support that they do for Fight Bananas podcast, Warhammer Fightwear. All right, guys, let's talk to Cam, and let's go bananas. All right, guys, like promised, the Think Man himself, 50% Think Man, 50% fighter, Cam Bennett. How you doing, my man?
I'm doing good. How are you, David?
Man, I'm doing great, man. To pull off the curtain, I'm driving right now to Columbus, Georgia, getting ready for a little event called Island Fight 60, Columbus, Georgia. Man, I'm pumped. How about you?
Oh, yes, I'm psyched. It's going to be a good card. I'm excited about it.
Oh, my. The card's stacked.
I'm rolling Jacob Kilburn main event.
Oh, my gosh. That is a unbelievable fight. Kilburn and Ross both had, you can argue the knockouts of the year for Island Fights.
Definitely.
Now they're fighting both in the main event, and it's so great because I talk about it with everyone with Island Fights, with Brock, Michael Davis, Hannah Goldie, Philip Rowe, Christian Lawson. You fight for Island Fights, you're going to fight for the UFC. So this fight could just be winner moves on. Uncle Dana gives him the call, and that's the ultimate goal, right?
Definitely. I got Kilburn in this one. I've seen both fight, and I've saw both of those knockouts. I was in person for Ross's knockout in Orange Beach, and that was brutal. But I think Kilburn is just going to be too technical. I think it'll be too technical, honestly.
Okay. No, I can see that. It's going to be a great fight. I can't wait. I'm going to be there live. I actually just talked to Javanius Ross yesterday. He was on the Fight Bananas podcast, and I know you subscribe, and you probably already listened to it 3 times. Am I right or wrong?
I mean, I haven't been able to do it because I had homework due, but
okay.
Once I get done with the homework, yes, sir.
Of course, man. It was cool. Ross is pumped. He's ready. He wants to fight, and he wants to fight again. He kind of wants to get back on that Orange Beach November 9th show, Island Fight 61. So, I'm eager to see, and it's funny, Kilburn's not talking about Island Fight 61, he's talking about Island Fight 60, and then he's talking about Uncle Dana. So, I'm really intrigued to see really what happens. But, okay, before we go to Island Fight 60, UFC Tampa, and then, hey, anything else you want to talk about? I really want to talk about your last fight, Island Fights 59 at the Pensacola Bay Center. Talk to us about your performance. We can talk about your coaches now, Rance Jones on Island Fight 61. So let's talk about you first and foremost. How did you think you did?
I'll be honest. Overall, it was exactly what I thought was going to happen. It was straight to the game plan. Trey from Team Remedy, the coaches, Thrasher, DJ and Rance, we all set the game plan up. We knew exactly what he was going to do. He was one-dimensional. And that's not his fault. He's grown up boxing. That's his realm. But I had to wake him up and make him realize that, hey, it's not just a boxing match.
Right.
We do all things. There's kicks, there's knees, and there's takedowns. there's submissions. I mean, right from the jump, it felt like he was willing to exchange with me, but then I landed 2 in the first round that you can see on the video, and I think it kind of woke him up and realized, he's not just a one-dimensional wrestler. He doesn't just submit people, which I can strike. That's the thing is, I feel like people sleep on my striking because you haven't seen my striking. Well, why would I show you my striking if the same thing works every time? Why would I show you anything? Why would I keep showing you all these aspects of my game when all I have to do to beat most people is one exact thing? Take them down with one takedown, and then just work a regular ground game, pass the guard, get them out, and then either you're going to turn and I'm going to choke you, or I'm just going to keep punching you in the face. So once I landed at 2, it just felt like I was running and chasing him, and he would never set, which, I mean, that was good on his part. He had very good movement. He never let his hands go. So that was the only thing. He never wanted to exchange. And, I mean, it was just punch into the clinch, take him down, and control him. And then he finally turned. He didn't like the punches in mount, which I don't think anybody does. And then I took the neck.
Right. Okay. You said a lot that I really like there. For one, it's 2019, 2020. Everything you do is on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. There's secret people trolls that hide on social media stuff that will find your stuff that's not in your camp. Everything is out there. So I love what you said. Hey, if I don't have to show that I can, do an ankle lock, don't show it. Keep it as secret as possible until you're, professional at Island Fights. If you're at Dana White Contender Series, maybe until your 8th fight into the UFC. Never overshow what you have. So I love that you said that.
Definitely.
Keep going.
You can go. Okay. I just feel like a lot of people want to go out there and kind of flex what they can do. And I mean, more power to them if you want to do that. But I mean, why would I do that? And why would I show you all these things to make you kind of get a better game plan together of exactly what I could do or possibly do in the fight, when if you're not going to just stop this one simple game plan, I'm going to keep doing that game plan until somebody stops it, and then I'll show some other stuff.
Oh, 100%. Nolan Ryan would throw fastballs. If you can't hit him, he won't change. Tom Brady's going to throw screen bubble passes. If you're not going to stop, he's going to win another Super Bowl.
If you wanna contribute or attribute to MMA, you watch Ryan Hall in the UFC. You know this man has an extensive jiu-jitsu background. But what is he going to do like 9 times out of 10? He's going to roll for a leg. It's like the same setup every time. You're going to come in and you're going to start throwing your punches, and then if you overwhelm him, he's going to drop down for a leg. I mean, we saw more striking in his last fight, but nobody knew he had that striking really because he hasn't had to show it.
Right. One of the other things you said, number 2, was about a game plan and how, he was a boxer and, you're maybe coming off a little bit of the wrestler. One thing I love, and a great podcast too, I hate keep going back to it, but around 3 episodes ago, had Kayla Harrison, Kayla Haracha, and Sydney Outlaw on it. And
Unicorn Gang.
The Unicorn Gang. That's it, man. They can't wait. They all want Cam Bennett to go down their American team, Coconut Creek, to mess around with the Unicorn Gang. So 2022, my man. A couple more years.
Definitely. I'll graduate by then. So
there you go.
Maybe.
Hey, we're speaking it out there. We're throwing it out there into the wild. Anyways, my point. Kayla is from judo, won 2 gold medalists. It's just, that's her base. That's what she does. Kayla Haracha was a boxer. She's boxed since, the 20s, and that's her first ground. Sydney Outlaw is that wrestler, that grit to get him on the ground. But all of them know it's great to have this base. But it's mixed martial arts. That's just one piece of the puzzle.
Exactly.
I always say the shed, the toolbox. That's only one tool. That's your hammer. That's probably what you go to. But, hey, when the dishwasher breaks, you need the wrench. You need the Allen wrench. You need a screwdriver. You need everything. You need all these tools. And sometimes you don't even know that you need it until you need it. So
exactly.
I just think fighters, it's 2019, 2020. fighters need to be well-rounded. They need to evolve. You have to have multiple layers in your toolbox ready to go to win fights nowadays.
Exactly. It's a balance. I mean, if you look at MMA as a whole, when MMA is first coming about and you watch the first UFCs, you see one style, one base dominate. But as you constantly move up in the years, you see people that are well-rounded. Like, you're not just going to have it's rare to find that one-dimensional kind of guy, like one style. So like Wonder Boy, Stephen Thompson, good example. He's base is karate, but like, you don't really see his ground game. He's got a ground game. He knows his ground game. His solid base is there. Adesanya, who just won, like, his base is striking. But also at the same time, he's solid in other areas. Like, he's not just inept on the ground completely.
Right.
You gotta. I feel like the best situation is you have one solid base that you've always done, but you're well rounded, and if it came down to it, you could win a striking battle.
Okay. Yeah. No, I agree with that. If I was hey, my son is 2.5. His name is Dylan. He's at Pete White Boxing Gym all the time. He's in David's at Susie's house all the time, boxing, punching. He is going to be a bona fide stud. Dean Toole already wants him on Island Fights 100. He's already on the card.
Keep him
right?
away from me, then.
So, but we talk about it all the time. If I had to breed him into the greatest mixed martial artist of all time, or AKA a Cam Bennett, I want wrestling. I want wrestling to be his base. And then I want to teach him kickboxing, punching, jiu-jitsu. I want to teach him, no-gi. I want to teach him everything else. But to me,
definitely,
wrestling is just the great base. When you can wrestle, to me, that means you can make the fight go where you want to. You want it on the ground, or shoot, if you're a great wrestler, but you do want to bang because you know your hands are quicker and you can throw the jab all day long across the cage, then I'm just going to stand up and do that. I think that's the base that I would take.
Exactly. I mean, it's in MMA history. You see wrestlers dominate. And I mean, I think it's really just part of it's the mindset. Part of it is what wrestlers have had to do in practices. If anybody's ever wrestled, they know what those practices are like. They're awful. I mean, if they're being ran right. I mean, you gotta go to a dark place and just keep pushing. It's embracing the grind, as Daniel Cormier says all the time. But wrestlers, you get to dictate the pace. Usually those guys are the hardest workers if they're true studs in wrestling, if they really wanted it. And also, here's the thing, you're not worried about getting taken down. You can throw as hard as you want when you choose correctly, because you're not afraid of that takedown. I mean, we see Khabib, like, yeah, he's mainly a Sambo guy or whatever, but his wrestling's top notch. And the only person that's really going to give him a challenge, in my opinion, is somebody with a solid wrestling base.
I agree.
I would build, and it's so much harder to go from, I would say, striking to learning the ground, because the ground has so many options. Striking, you got your 1, 2, 3, like your combinations, and then it's all about pairing up your combinations, learning how to see those punches coming at you and reacting. But the ground is it's a chess game. It's not checkers.
Right. I love that. My man, Cam Bennett, here on the show. All right, like I said, I'm on the way. I'm driving. Right now I'm in a big red Suburban, driving down the highway. I'm getting ready to go to Columbus, Georgia, Island Fight 60. Hey, don't do this at home. That's why I get paid the big bucks, all right? There's 3.
Maybe one day I'll be there.
Really soon. There's 3 fights I do want to talk to you about. Want your take. We kind of mentioned Kilburn Ross, so let's kind of finish up with their that's the main event. Jacob Kilburn versus Javanius Ross. I won't pick, with me being in the kind of media and being there. It's going to be a great fight. I cannot wait. I'm excited for it. But is your prediction, so I can put this in granite, you're picking Kilburn?
Yeah, I mean, respect to both of them.
Of course.
And, I mean, both of them obviously have pop. I was there for Ross's knockout, and that was, I'll be honest, that was brutal. And I saw, like, the aftermath backstage, and I was like, whoa. I mean, if you're not solid in, hey, I want to really fight kind of thing, you would probably reevaluate wanting to fight.
Right. It was, and he was a big underdog. Damon Miner was kind of a hot prospect, a budding prospect here for Island Fights. So, Ross was definitely the underdog, and 9 seconds later, Ross is now the main event of Island Fight 60. It was that big of a knockout.
So, I mean, and yeah, I'm going to be honest, I had Damon winning that fight because I had watched him before that fight. I watched his last fight against Wesley Golden in Island Fights, and I know Wesley. I was like, wow, okay, this guy's legit. Yeah, he's a little short in stature and whatnot, but he's got some pop, and that knee was beautiful. He caught him on that level change going to the body, and I was like, wow, okay. But I believe Kilburn, he has a very well-rounded game, and I feel like maybe I saw some kind of thing on Facebook where Kilburn and Ross kind of went back and forth on some kind of video or something like that like a month ago.
Right.
And I feel like, I don't know, Kilburn looked a little like under his skin, in my opinion. But I think Kilburn's just going to be well-rounded. I think he'll get the job done. I mean, I'm expecting a dogfight, though.
Right.
It'll be good.
Yep, it's the main event. UFC Fight Pass. Cannot wait. Co-main event. This fight, I love this fight. I was around Dean when he was making it, and just with both guys and their stature, and it's one of those gotta-be-there fights. Jarrett Night Train Gooden versus Marcel Stamps. Both fighters could just be honest and just take lesser fights. They really could. This is, and I've called it, we put it on FightBananas.com, the baddest fight in Island Fights history. Both men are just killers. Both men are just that top-notch athlete. And it's a catchweight fight. It's a kind of a welterweight and a middleweight. And they just said, hey, we want to bang here in Columbus, Georgia. So they are. So what's your fight prediction on Gooden versus Stamps?
Man, I've watched Stamps fight a couple times. Haven't watched Gooden, but I've been hearing some hype. I read the things on him, and I mean, I have no clue about Gooden's game, what his game is, but he sounds like an absolute killer and a hot prospect. And I mean, I think depending on his ground game, I feel like that's a solid route to take with Stamps, because I've watched Stamps and I've seen him win, I've seen him lose, and the time he lost was on the ground. It was a pretty simple route to take. But I mean, I think I'm going to buy into the hype and go with Gooden.
Okay, Jared Gooden. Okay, there you go. And then real quickly,
I know it's going to be fire. I know that.
Oh yeah. You mentioned Wesley Gooden. I did want to have a real quick shout out. Wesley and Lisa getting married around last week. So congratulations.
I was there.
Yeah. So okay, give us the inside scoop. Give us the Fight Bananas inside scoop. How was the golden wedding?
Yeah, I mean it was pretty nice. It was outside.
Did they have Krispy Kreme donuts there? Was it unlimited free Krispy Kreme? What?
No. There was jelly beans, though. Jelly beans.
Mm.
They had a little snack table.
That's awesome.
While we were waiting on the food with some... Eric Simmons was over there just downing jelly beans all night. I mean...
Yeah.
He was like, I retired. I'm going to eat jelly beans.
No, that's everything. So they won the wedding, like us too. I got my wife and we got married in Charleston, South Carolina. It's actually coming up, going to be our 4-year wedding anniversary.
Wow, congrats!
Thanks, bro. Thank you. It was expensive. It was big. It was on the water. The pictures, everything. But everyone remembers. 100 people were there. Everyone tells, dude, your snack bar, your candy bar was amazing. Thank you so much for that. I'm like, what? The chicken cost $120, and they're thanking me for 35 cents of sweet tarts. It's crazy. It's all about the candy bar.
I mean, I guess so. That's where but I mean, when I get married, it's going to be donuts, obviously. Krispy Kreme. Hopefully that sponsorship deal's done by then.
Wow.
And we'll just have like Krispy Kreme.
That's going to be one lucky lady one day. Wow.
I mean, single and ready to mingle. Just kidding.
Oh, my goodness.
No, if anything, right now I'm married to the the sport of MMA.
There you go. There you go.
She's
You got to be.
treating me nice.
There you
She's
go.
been treating me nice right now.
Undefeated fighter, Cam Bennett. Last fight to talk about Island Fight 60. Then there's two more kind of fights I want to get into. One on UFC Tampa, one on UFC 244 Madison Square Garden. But the last one is a heavyweight fight. Rashad Action Jackson, which was in the main event of this Orange Beach show that we were talking about a couple of times. He's fighting the legend, Chris Peaceboy Barnett, just a living legend in the sport of mixed martial arts.
Yeah.
He was on the Dean Tool Promotions show, the same show that you fought on. So what's your 2 cents on Action Jackson versus Barnett in a heavyweight scrap?
Gonna be another good fight. Jackson, the only fight I saw was him versus Chase Sherman. He got ate up with those leg kicks.
Right.
But Barnett, man, I'm going to be honest. My dad and I love him because you see the body type. Hey, it's just the same story as me. You see the body type, and you don't expect those things to happen. I saw that man go belly to back on a heavyweight suplex. I was, like, blown away. I was like, no way. I could not believe he was going to do that. I've seen videos of his kicks and stuff, and that's what I was expecting. I'm like, he's a very agile big man. But the suplex blew me away. And I love watching him fight. So, I mean, I'm a big fan of Barnett, so I'm going to roll with him. That's what my heart says.
Okay. No, it's going to be a great fight. Both guys are really great. Both been on the show. Really good guys.
Yes.
One funny story with Barnett, after the Dean Tool Promotions show, everyone went out. We had a little fun. We partied a little bit.
Where was my invite?
It's in the mail.
It got lost in the mail.
It's in the mail.
It got lost in the mail.
Barnett
took it.
Chris Barnett, he was dancing. He was the best dancer in the building. There was 3,000 people. We're all eating, drinking a little bit, maybe drinking a little bit too much. Some other people, but not me. But Barnett was dancing up a storm. He's a living legend right there in Pensacola Beach, Florida. So that's gonna be a great fight. I can't wait. But like I said, okay, so we're going to get into two fights, but before we get into the other two fights, definitely want to give out a big shout out to our sponsors, Fusion CBD products. Cam, they do great stuff for me. There's a rub that really helps me, back, shoulder, stuff like that. But the thing I love the most is these Fusion coffee beans. They're amazing. I love coffee, and it kind of just, at night just kind of quiets me down a little bit because I'm always, going bananas 24/7. So Fusion coffee beans, definitely
Always.
check them out,
Yes, sir.
All right, so here's the two fights. Tampa Bay, UFC Tampa, Saturday. Mike Beast Boy Davis takes it on 4-day notice versus Thomas Gifford. It was supposed to be the Brock Weaver fight. I would love your 2 cents on Davis taking the fight in 4 days versus Thomas Gifford in the lightweight division.
I'm coming with, obviously, I'm going to roll with Davis either way because his Island Fights connections. I've never met him personally. Will meet. I think that would be cool. But also, I like his style. He's got a solid striking base. And I had looked up and studied Gifford a little bit. He's very lanky. His arms are long. I would watch guillotines.
Right.
He's got a few submission wins by guillotine. His 2 fights before the UFC, he won by guillotine on the same guy. You would think that guy would learn, but but I think I'm rolling with Davis, and I think there's a good possibility he finishes him. I think his boxing's too crisp. I watched Gifford's. I was not too impressed by his striking. I think he's not too tight with his punches, and there will be openings. I think Mike gets it done.
Wow. Okay. Thomas Gifford is going to be on the Fight Bananas podcast right after this one. So if you're listening to this one, make sure you
he's
download.
Gonna fight me next.
No, it's so
he's
hard.
Gonna be
man.
like, I heard that. I'm gonna come for this Cam Bennett guy.
That
next.
Cam Bennett, the think guy
come
for
to
Fight
Pensacola,
Bananas.
Florida, and beat me up.
It's always tough, man. Especially, we always talk about fights and predictions and talk about like you. I love how you said it at the top. No disrespect. It stinks. 2 men are going to walk into a cage or a ring. One will win and one will lose. And, hey, it's no disrespect. There's plenty of upsets all the time. We're just here talking, chattering it up.
Yeah.
No, it's going to be a great fight.
My pick it's going to be Davis, and I think Brock Brock would have got the job done. It comes down to striking and if he can impose a ground game. Like, his arms are really long. I've seen his submission win. So, comes down to that.
Yeah, I can't.
Mike had a tough fight with Gilbert Burns. Like, that's a tall order for your debut.
Oh my! That fight was on 8-day notice in the wrong weight class. It was that was bananas. And Michael Davis, that's him. He takes it. He'll fight anywhere, any day, any week. He'll fight twice on Sunday, once in the morning, once at night.
I'd like to see him fight on a full camp and in his weight class.
Yeah. That's soon. He was supposed to fight on that UFC Copenhagen show a couple weeks back. His opponent pulled out.
Came in.
Yeah, it's just, life happens, but he's on it. UFC Tampa, I can't wait for that fight. Should be a great fight. Best wishes to both men. But, we'll end it on this. We'll end it on this fight. And then, of course, afterwards, if there's anything else you want to talk about, we can talk about life. Hey, anything you want. But last fight, my favorite fight of 2019, BMF, New York City, MSG, UFC 244, Masvidal Diaz. Who do you got?
Man, I got a good fight coming. I know that.
Right.
But my opinion on it is, if it's gonna be Jorge, it's gonna be done quick. It's not gonna be a 5-second fight, obviously, but it's gonna be, I would say, first, second round, maybe third. But the longer it goes, I'm gonna roll with Diaz in the decision. I don't think it gets finished. I think they're too tough. I think both of them are too tough. Diaz gets hit with some hard shots and just keeps coming. I mean, he was born to fight. They're both born to fight.
Right.
I think, Gamebred, ever since there was a turning point, he went, and I think he said that too, was he noticed that every time he went to a decision, he lost. So he was like, I'm just not going to let the judges decide. And I was like, that's very smart.
Genius, I love it.
Yeah, I was like, 1 + 1 = 2, quick math. But I was doubting Diaz for the Pettis fight because I'm like, man, 3 years off is a long time. And then just to jump in on that high level. But he looked like he evolved a little bit. His knees coming in there, it was nice. He threw in some wrestling, which I was shocked. So I think I got to go with Diaz, like, slightly for that. But I just know it's going to be a banger.
Wow. No, I'm this one, Cam, I'm 100% disagreeing with you. I got Masvidal winning in the first, second, third, fourth, and fifth round. I just think his momentum.
You think he finishes him?
I do, yes. I actually really do. Okay, with Diaz, a lot of people says, can't get finished, doesn't get finished, and I totally agree. He's got a chin for days. He's got one of the best chins in the history of MMA. But I don't know if you remember around 6-7 years ago, Josh Thompson.
Yeah, I knew you were going to pull that out. I had just thought about that, the head kick.
The head kick, and I just think Masvidal, it might not be a plain quick knockout, but it could be one of those technical knockouts that overhand right slips him, and he falls, and Masvidal is in 100% savage mode right now. 2019 is the year of Masvidal. Just on top, 1, 2, 3 big ones. Yeah. Herb Dean jumps in, and it's over. And I think they shake hands afterwards. I think they both, and this is another one. This is a little sleeper that maybe not a lot of people are talking about, right? Diaz, to me, fights more on the back and forth. He needs it. Like, he needs to be pumped. He needs the rival. He needs the vinegar. To me, Masvidal, he fought Cowboy Cerrone. It's all good. He fought, Darren Till was very respectful. Even Till, who can talk the trash, they were both very up and up with each other. Askren was a different
people
thing.
People respect that.
Mindset, the game-bred mindset.
That mindset, yeah.
So, but
Definitely.
Diaz has nothing. Like, Diaz has no juice. Like, I feel like he upset Pettis for one. Pettis was doing really good until he hurt his ankle, and injuries happen, and that's part of the game. And it happened.
It was that Pettis says it's that head kick that he hurt his ankle. There was one time where Diaz, for some reason, for the first time like ever, checked a leg kick, and I believe that's where he hurt his leg. Right. In my opinion.
Yeah.
Because it was a nasty. He caught it on the knee. I was like, first off, I was shocked that Diaz actually checked a leg kick. And then I believe that was kind of a turning point.
Hey, it's what you said. You're always learning. You're always getting better. His 37th
Definitely.
fight inside the octagon, boom, he learns how to check kicks now. You know.
I mean, I would expect. I think Masvidal would throw some leg kicks out there though, and if Diaz doesn't check them regularly, that's really going to change outlook of this fight. I think to make it not as close and make it almost lopsided.
Right. Wow. Okay, Cam, like I said, the floor is yours. Anything you want to get off your chest, anything you want to talk about, any kind of sponsor plugs, Trey Alador, anything you want to talk about, we got 5-10 minutes for you, my man. What you got?
Man, talk about sponsor plugs. I don't have any sponsors, so, I mean, throw that out there. If any sponsors want to get on the Cam train before it leaves the station.
Oh, we need that.
Go.
We need that. Cam Bennett, a future superstar in the sport. Got a great charisma about him. The fans love him. The ladies love him. So any kind of sponsors out there, let's get on this Cam Bennett train. Hey, Warhammer Fightwear and Still Nutrition. There's a ton of great sponsors out there. Cam Bennett. Look him up on Instagram. What's your Instagram handle?
I want to say it's just Cam Bennett, and then it's like Cam Bennett 9 or something like that.
Okay, well, you got to learn that one. That's got to be on the fly. You got to, boom, you got to just nail that.
True. I mean, if you're going to find me, you're going to find me. But once people type in Cam, usually I pop up. Or if you look at Island Fights and you click their followers and type in Cam, I'm going to pop up.
Oh, there you go. So now, Cam Bennett, a superstar fighter, a Krispy Kreme enthusiast, and a follower of Island Fights.
Yes, definitely. Just add that to the resume. Hey, and I mean, SD Dumas is out the AMI picture, so I told Dean right when I got out of the ring, I was like, hey, there's a main event spot opened up on your amateur cards. I was like, you need a guy to fill them, and then you need a guy that sells tickets. I do both. So I was like, and then I told that to Devin Adams, and Devin Adams goes, well, we need to get you a belt. I was like, I don't need a belt. I'm the people's champ. What are you talking about? Wow. Like, that's a belt enough for me. Amateur belts don't mean anything to me. They just look cool.
Right.
Yeah, I want one just because it's a piece of jewelry, but belts don't really mean anything. It shows your hard work, your dedication. But belts mean something when it's at the top. When it's that Bellator belt, that one championship belt, that UFC belt, those are that's the pinnacle. All these other belts are just a little stepping stone on the way there. So, I mean, belts are coming. I know that. I know I want to be fighting for titles soon because those are the main event slots. Because that also means that's the best, right? If you have a belt in an organization, you're supposed to be the best. So I want to test myself and I want to fight the best.
Right.
That's why I'm here. I'm not here to cherry pick fights and fight just a bum off the street who thinks he's a street fighter and he's going to be like, oh, I'm going to try this out one time. No, I want to fight those guys who think they're going to go pro and who are going to make it to the UFC. I'll fight you now, and then we can fight again later when we're pro going to the UFC. It doesn't matter.
Cam Bennett with a Brock Weaver type of promo right here on Fight Bananas. We are smelling what you are cooking, Cam Bennett. We love this. We love it. Big fans here, Fight Bananas. Cam Bennett, 2-0, undefeated amateur fighter. Big things.
4-0.
4-0. I'm sorry, 4-0. 4-0. 2-0 in the last 2-3 months. Dean Tool Promotion Show, Island Fights 58. Cam, man, best of luck to you in the future. Anything else you want to shout out? Any kind of coaches, any kind of friends out? Anything you want, my man. You got 38 seconds.
Okay, well, I want to just thank Team Remedy for always having my back and helping me train, and all the people that meet me along the way and get to train with me, and the pros that help me train, and just thank God for the opportunity to be on the show and then be able to fight, and being blessed with just the time I'm in. And thank you for having me on the show, and it's been a blast. I love being on Fight Bananas.
Absolutely, my man. You're welcome anytime. We appreciate you. We'll talk to you very soon, all right? Good luck.
Yes, sir. Catch you later.
All right.
Bye.
Wow, what a great show, guys. There it is. Cam Bennett on the Fight Bananas podcast. Make sure you subscribe to the Fight Bananas YouTube page or hit that download on Apple Podcasts or any podcast platform. Anytime you listen to it, give us some love, show out some pictures, tag us. We'll love to retag you guys. We appreciate you. And, of course, if you want to slide into those DMs at Fight Bananas Official, we love answering your questions, anything you want. MMA related, personal related, you have a question about me, you want to know what shampoo I use, ask away. Fight Bananas Official on Instagram. Show some love to Cam Bennett. Stay blessed, be safe, thank you, and always stay bananas.